Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's council meeting. City of Anamosa City Council Agenda Regular Session, Monday, October 10th, 2022, 6 p.m., Anamosa Library and Learning Center. 1.0 roll call.
Trump. Here. Tukin.
Here.
Zumba.
Here.
Stout.
Here.
Gommert.
Here.
5 of 6 council members are present in chambers. 2.0 Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
3.0 Approval of Agenda.
Move to approve. Second.
Motion by Rich, second by Alan. Discussion. Brandon? Please conduct the roll vote.
Tukin.
Yes.
Zumba.
Yes.
Stout.
Yes.
Gommert.
Yes.
Trump.
Yes.
Motion to approve carried unanimously. 4.0 motion to approve the minutes from the following meetings. 4.1 September 26th, 2022, regular council meeting.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Alan, second by Jeff. Council discussion on the minutes that were submitted. Brandon?
Zumba.
Yes.
Tukin.
Yes.
Trump.
Yes.
Stout.
Yes.
Gommert.
Yes.
Motion to approve carried unanimously. 5.0 public hearing. Police station renovation. 5.1, I'll call them public hearing to order. You received any?
City Hall has not received any comment, email, or contact.
Move to close the public hearing. Move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion by Alan, second by Rich. Council discussion. Brandon?
Stout.
Yes.
Gommert.
Yes.
Trump.
Yes.
Tukin.
Yes.
Zumba.
Yes.
Motion to close carried unanimous. 6.0 old business. 6.1 resolution 2022-59 authorizing and approving a certain loan agreement providing for the issuance of $2,200,000 general obligation corporate purpose bonds series 2022 and providing for the levy of taxes to pay the same.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Jeff, second by Rich. Council discussion. Public comment. Brandon?
Gommert.
Yes.
Trump.
Yes.
Tukin.
Yes.
Zumba.
Yes.
Stout.
Yes.
Motion carried unanimously. 6.2, review and approval, payment to HR Green for GIS services, P and Z through September 23rd, 2022, in the amount of $476,000 or $476.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Alan, second by Rich. Council discussion.
So P and Z in this sense, just to clarify, I mean, that's normally planning and zoning, I mean, so.
So they haven't done much, but I think they just bill when they receive the
Okay.
dollar amount they record.
Just clarifying, I guess.
Any public comment? Brandon?
Stout.
Yes.
Zumba.
Yes.
Tukin.
Yes.
Trump.
Yes. Yes.
Motion approved, carried unanimously. Review 6.3, review and approval. Payment to HR Green for GIS services, Water Department through September 23rd, 2022 in the amount of $353.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Rich, second by Teresa. Further discussion? Public comment? Brandon, please.
Zumba,
Yes.
Tukin,
Yes.
Crump,
Yes.
Stout,
Yes.
Yonder,
Yes.
Motion to approve carried unanimous. 6.4, review and approval. Payment to Martin Garner Architecture for the professional services for September 2022 in the amount of $5,018.90 for the police station renovation.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Rich, second by Alan. Further council discussion? Public comment? Brandon?
Tukin,
Yes.
Zumba,
Yes.
Stout,
Yes.
Yonder,
Yes.
Crump,
Yes.
Motion to approve carried unanimously. 6.5, resolution 2022-67. Awarding the contract for the Anamosa Police Station construction project to Dave's Complete Construction and authorizing the city administrator to execute the appropriate documents.
Mr. Mayor, council members, we had a very successful bid opening a couple weeks ago for the renovation project to the police station. We had 9 bidders submit. Had two bidders that came in under the projected cost of $991,545. We had 4 bidders that came in within 40,000 of each other, just slightly over. And then we always have that one bid that sometimes is just out there. So very competitive bidding. All the contractors that submitted, I think, were well qualified. My experience, I've worked with Dave's Complete Construction on various projects for over 20 years. He's a very good contractor, does very well with these types of kind of ugly renovation projects. He completed the one in Waukon a few years ago, which was a very similar project for the police department up there. So I've had several conversations with Dave. He's confident with his pricing. He's confident with his bid schedule to complete construction by the end of April next year. So a fairly aggressive schedule. He understands that the department wants to get in there. So my recommendation to the council would be to accept his base bid with the alternate for painting the whole exterior of the building for $874,537.
For the record, could you state your name?
Brian Stark, I'm sorry, with Martin Gardner Architecture.
Or any other recent contracts he's done that you know of for cities?
The last one, like I said, what I would have been a couple years ago in Waukon, but he's steadily over, like I said, my 20+ years, completed, 2, 3, 4 construction projects over the years. Some of them are private, a lot of them are public work. He does tend to bid a considerable amount of public work. Dave himself is strictly a general contractor. He does have a team of subcontractors and suppliers he does utilize on a regular basis. He has kind of scaled back his business over the last 15 years to just focus on the general construction aspect of it, running the projects, setting the schedules, doing those sort of things. And he's done a very good job with that. I'm pretty confident of the subcontractors that I'm aware that he is using, that he shared with me, that I think they will do a fine job with the project. So
That was gonna be my only comment was, I mean, it's the lowest and almost could get it done the soonest. So just sometimes is that a red flag that? he's the
yeah,
lowest?
really. Yeah. Again, really, like I said, under Iowa law, the city is obligated to take the lowest responsive bidder. Again, with my experience with Dave, I've never really had any issues on projects that haven't been able to be addressed, whether it's a little bit of a workmanship issue or something that any general contractor would have. They've addressed it. They've addressed it in a timely manner. Dave's really good about pointing out things during construction that could be a cost savings to the city too. So he's very proactive about being very open and honest with kind of how he does his business. So again, I have no objections to the council moving forward with accepting his bid.
Well, I'm really happy with it coming in as far under
Mhm.
the expectation. Does it concern you being that far under?
Again, knowing Dave and knowing how aggressive he is when he wants a project, we see that. And it's not uncommon with a project of this nature to have a fairly wide spread. What made me feel very confident was that core group of the 4 contractors that were very close together. If you threw in the one that was about $100,000 higher than that, the 5 were really good. And again, knowing Dave and just kind of how he operates, when he wants a project, he knows it's close to home. He's going to go after it. And again, I've had several conversations with him over the last couple of weeks, and he says he's very comfortable with his numbers. Feels like he hasn't missed anything. So I can only take his word at that point. So, yep.
Like I said, I'm pleased with it
Mhm.
coming in that
Yep.
far under, but
And I assume he's been in the building all the.
Yes,
the contract
several
before?
times,
Okay.
several times.
Can you state what that overall estimated cost was?
So the night that the council gave permission to go out to do bid, we had a base bid with the alternate set at $991,545. And that was without some of the market contingencies that I was very afraid of. We're starting to see in this industry, we've had 2 or 3 bids open in the last month or so, that we're starting to see a plateau right now. Prices are dipping a little bit, so things are starting to get steady. Lead times are starting to come down on most items. This project does not have anything designed into the construction that should have a really extensive lead time on it. So again, yeah, I think, and obviously we had a lot of interest in this work. So again, it's a project that hits the right time of the year. It's all inside work. Contractors get something they can do, in Iowa inside during the winter. So they were very aggressive at going after it too. So
Dave's bid was 8.
his base bid, on the paper here, his base bid was $861,237. And the only alternate we had in the project was to do the whole painting for the exterior of the building at 13.3 for a total of $874,537.
And what portion is that of the paint? Is it, everything is just the part, because isn't there some stone or brick on?
It's the entire exterior of the building is currently painted. So we would basically repaint the entire exterior of the building to however we want to make the building the police department. So again,
As I just recall, there's some, maybe on the north side, there's some older side that maybe.
yeah, there's
just thinking,
part,
what
yeah,
if
part of
we-
that. Yeah, part of the work that was under the base bid is going to be any repair to that little bump out stairway to the north side. Obviously, we've got some siding repair. We do have a fair amount of infill work that's happening under the base bid where we're taking out a good portion of the glass block windows. Those get infilled with concrete block. So again, painting out the whole exterior of the building, fascias, soffits, the whole 9 yards. To basically give the building a uniform look. When it's all said, then removal of vegetation on the alley side to the southwest corner. On the south side, we've got an infestation of vegetation on the building that'll all be removed as part of the construction package too.
What is our budget for this project? As far as what do we have available?
700,000.
Okay, so do we have any idea where we might get this other 200,000?
At this moment, I'm not 100% sure on all the details since I've only been here a couple months. I cannot talk to Jeremiah because he's worked with Beth and had that before, and he's on vacation this week. My recommendation, even though I hate to say it, is to table this until the next meeting so I can get all the ducks in a row to confirm everything is where it needs to be. So we can move forward with the project. We can't award it and not have the funds paid for it. I can't confirm or deny at that point with him not being available and knowing what was done prior to this point for me. Getting here and getting involved. So I couldn't pull together enough information this afternoon to come up with the full picture. So like I said, I don't want to say that, but we really probably should be fiscally responsible to make sure that we have what we need.
Is there any possibility of outside money?
Yes, the problem we run into with that is if I'm looking for a grant or some kind of assistance, there's usually a 6-month window. Gathering the data I need to apply for it and then get awarded it, and that doesn't meet this timeline.
That puts us behind.
But we're just behind quite a bit. The other issue I have is not knowing, confirming the financial 100% status. If we award something and we don't have the funds to pay for it, then we have an issue there. And I don't want to do that. Like I said, I'm 100% behind getting what we
Yeah.
need to have for the police department, but financially, I do not know right now with 100% certainty that we have it covered.
Let's say that we did have it covered. Can we still get grants or anything like that in hindsight, just once it's done?
Not usually.
Hmm.
No, usually most grant programs for anything that's a public use or public service, you apply and there's a match going on somehow. So even though we have the 700, that would still be a city match. So we have to come with funds later on. I mean, there could be a phase 2 if we wanted to do more development or do something else inside, and I can plan for that. But the other part of the Rubik's Cube of data with the funds that we have is how much have we spent thus far? That comes out of the 700,000 as well. So
Okay.
I do not have a specific dollar amount right now
Okay,
that everything's in a row at this moment. I did not realize that until I had a discussion today, and with confidence, I just can't. I don't want to put us in that position.
no, I totally agree.
So I don't want to say no, but tabling it, I think would at least buy me some time to make sure that we have what we need. So we're not putting ourselves in a predicament we don't want to be in.
I'd move to table this till we have more information.
Second.
Motion by Allen, second by Brooke. Any further council discussion? Did Dave give you a start time that he would be?
As soon as possible. He was
They want
anxious to
start
go.
next week, and
Yeah,
we'll-
so just so for the council's information, his bid is good for 45 calendar days. So you do have some time over the next, till your next council meeting in a couple weeks here to have those discussions and do the research. So,
Okay,
Thanks for that.
all right.
Is there any other questions, discussion by council? Public comment? Alan made the motion, Brooke second to table. Brandon, could you conduct a roll vote?
Crump,
Yes.
Gombert,
Yes.
Stout,
Yes.
Zumba,
yes,
Duken.
Yes.
Motion to table carried unanimously. Brian, thanks
All right.
for coming
Thank you, everybody.
before us this evening. 7.0, new business. 7.1, resolution 2022-64, approving dedication of public streets, lots, land donation and utilities, and authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute the same on behalf of the city of Anamosa, Iowa for Meadow Ridge 8th edition.
I don't know if anybody needs background. This is out council and around that area. The streets should have actually been dedicated about a year ago. Somehow that missed with what was going on. They also were going to dedicate the outlot, which is like the little reserve area. And then they're dedicating lot 1 as a park area to us as well. So we just did it all in one package. I said, I'm not gonna do the streets in 2 weeks later, the whole thing. So it's all together, and then I can get it filed with the county that will be responsible for everything for streets. Lot 1, the outlot.
Which would be maintenance.
Yes, maintenance. They do have discussion that they've had with the parks already, that they want to see some kind of park action happen there within 2 years. So since we didn't really know that lot 1 was going to be ours, as far as I'm aware, I said, start that 2-year clock July 1st, so we can budget potentially for something to go there. So I'm not missing out on 6 months of time to put something over there, whether that's swings, picnic table, I don't know, whatever parks board, everybody decides to do with that area. So they agreed to that. So we'll come up with something in this budget to at least start some funds to put something over there. So it can be at least used.
I'll move to approve.
second,
Motion by Rich, second by Alan. Also discussion. Public comment. Brandon,
Tukin,
Yes.
Zumba,
Yes.
Stout,
Yes.
Yonder,
Yes.
Crump,
yes,
motion to approve carried unanimous. 7.2, resolution 2022-60, obligating funds from the Urban Renewal Tax Revenue Fund for payment of annual appropriation tax increment financed obligations, which shall come due in the next succeeding fiscal year for Fairway Stores, Inc.
Just to give you a little background, so there's several of these coming up on the agenda. They have to every year ask for their portion or prorated amount of TIF funds to be refunded. In the packet was the compilation of how much the increment, the difference between the base and what the value is now and what should be estimated as the 85% return each year. It's prorated. It's not a full bulk amount, which means this amount of funds goes against us, just this amount, not the whole amount of the TIF for the whole entire X amount of time, whether it's a business or residence, it makes a little difference in timeline between 10, 15, 20 years. So we appropriate it every year. I might have more coming maybe the next meeting, so it's not necessarily, it's whoever has the TIF and applies for it to get the funds back. Fairway usually gets 2 payments, one in December and one in June, and everybody else gets their payment in June, and that comes from the county. So I have to file a state report with the county saying the TIF funds and what's due when. And then we disperse that when we receive the funds and they're due.
Much time still exists on that agreement.
Depends on which one. So residential is usually 10 years or less from when they implement. So it might have been a lot for 2 or 3 or 4 years. So this from when they implement. Businesses, depending if they're in the commercial, industrial, could be 15 or 20.
How long with Fairway?
I do not know. I don't know how long we've paid them. I started a spreadsheet and I'm kind of doing a little research and gathering kind of the same information because each of the agreements has a max of X amount of dollars as well. And I haven't found anything yet where we're kind of keeping track thus far of how much we spent. So even though we're delving out these funds, I need to go back in time to see what we've actually shelled out, because even though it may be a 10-year agreement, we might run out of the funds by year 8 or only have a small portion left of year 7 or something. So we can't overpay them. So I'm in the process of doing that. When he started coming in, I'm like, I wonder how much that is as well. So I don't have the full picture of time for everybody, but I am making spreadsheets. So, and plus once I do that, that'll be easier for me to do my reporting as well. It'll all be listed to get payments and what I'm gonna do. So it's gonna help me, but yeah, I will have on there per the agreement. It can't be more than, whatever each one is. Some of them are $50,000, some are $110,000. Just depends on, what they're doing. So I will have that shortly, but I don't know how long. I know Fairway's been several years already.
They opened in 2016, so we'd be about
Yeah.
roughly halfway through that.
Potentially.
Been at least 6 years, I think.
But I know they've had several. I think I'm back to them 3 or 4. And they might have started right in 2016. They may have been 2017. I don't know. But yeah, I know they're several years back, but they're the longest one I've found so far for what we have, because the other residential ones are.
I'll move to approve 7.2.
I'll second.
Motion by Jeff, second by Rich. Further council discussion? Public comment? Brandon,
Zumba,
Yes.
Tukin,
Yes.
Crump,
Yes,
Stout,
Yes.
Yonder,
Yes.
motion to approve carried unanimously. 7.3, resolution 2022-61, obligating funds from the Urban Renewal Tax Revenue Fund for payment of annual appropriation tax increment financed obligations, which shall come due in the next succeeding fiscal year for Rickliff's 416 Chamber Drive.
move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Rich, second by Alan. Council discussion. Public comment. Brandon, please.
Stout,
Yes.
Yonder,
Yes.
Crump,
Yes,
Tukin,
Yes.
Zumba,
Yes.
Motion to approve carried unanimously. 7.4, resolution 2022-62, obligating funds from the Urban Renewal Tax Revenue Fund for payment of annual appropriation tax increment financed obligations, which shall come due in the next succeeding fiscal year for Kraus 412 Chamber Drive.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Alan, second by Rich. Council discussion. Public comment. Brandon?
Calvert,
Yes.
Stout,
Yes.
Zumba,
Yes.
Tukin,
Yes.
Crump,
Yes.
Motion to approve carried unanimous. 7.5, resolution 2022-63, obligating funds from the Urban Renewal Tax Revenue Fund for payment of annual appropriation tax increment financed obligations, which shall come due in the next succeeding fiscal year for Blue Max 106 East Main Street.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Brooke, second by Allen. Council discussion. Public comment. Brandon?
Crump,
Yes.
Tukin,
Yes.
Zumba,
Yes.
Stout,
Yes.
Calvert,
Yes.
Motion to approve carried unanimously. 7.6, resolution 2022-65, approving the appointment to the park board to fill term ending October 15th, 2025.
Bruce used to be on the park. Bruce was on the park board previously, and then he got a job at the Parks Department. So his seat is vacant, and they have someone that's applied. The park board met last week, and they have approved James Comey as being appointed to the park board to serve the remainder of the term that's left. Bruce's open position.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Allen, second by Teresa. Further council discussion? Public comment? Brandon?
Tukin,
Yes.
Crump,
Yes.
Zumba,
Yes.
Stout,
Yes.
Calvert,
Yes.
Motion to approve carried unanimous. 7.7, resolution 2022-66, approving the creation of 2 seasonal part-time employees for the Park and Recreation Department for the winter 2022 season.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just, how this came about, to give you a little background. So they have the summer interns, which pretty much handle the pool. And when that pool closes, that's fine. Their term is over. But we do have increased foot traffic during the winter at the LCC. We have festivals and events. Right now, they are short-staffed, so much so that they have about 7 days this month that have no staff available to work. I know we're not in the position financially with the budget to actually just outright hire somebody. So what we came up with to assist with this year until I can get into the budget, and really look and see what we need, what staffing we need to address. I think this is the easiest way to address that, because then it's a temporary amount of time. They're not permanent. We can get a couple people in to help with those hours of coverage, help with the festivals and events to maybe be a little bit more organized. And then when it's over, it's over. We don't have to necessarily do anything again, and then we'll have a better picture of what we want to look at for staffing, potentially if we need to add anybody or organize a little more, whatever we need to address. Park board was aware of it, and they discussed it, and they approved to send it to you guys for review and approval.
What would be considered the ending timeline for?
I
winter
have it on here. I think I
2022
had,
season?
thought I had it on here.
25 hours per week.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
25
you're
hours
looking
a
at
week.
the
Oh,
time.
anytime for a month, we can do March. I mean, I
Into March?
can do March or even end of February. It just depends on, once people start going back outside, we'll have a little less foot traffic. So yeah, we can amend this to say, from
I
November
was
1st to
just-
March.
I was just looking for.
Yeah, no, we do
clarification.
need definite, probably beginning cutoff times. I thought I had found on there, but I think I just called it winter season. That is my fault. yeah, we could say ending, end of February or end of March, whatever you want to amend that line in there too.
Move to approve with the addendum of ending in March.
Second.
Motion by Alan, second by Jeff. Further discussion? Public comment? Brandon?
Zumba,
Yes.
Tukin,
Yes.
Crump,
Yes.
Stout,
Yes.
Yonder,
Yes.
Motion to approve carried unanimous. 7.8, review and approval. Application of Dylan Coolidge to join the Anamosa Volunteer Fire Department.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Alan, second by Teresa. Also discussion. Public comment? Brandon, please.
Stout,
Yes.
Zumba,
Yes.
Tukin,
Yes.
Crump,
Yes.
Yonder,
Yes.
Motion to approve carried unanimous. 7.9, discussion of possible action, senior dining center lighting.
In your packets was an email looking for lighting to be updated for a scope of work and a cost, which was not a horrible price point, and I could have approved it, but I know that we are responsible for the senior dining as well. So I figured it was just so you guys are aware and we're transparent that that's what they're asking for. And,
What's the amount?
Couple bids in there.
yeah, I was gonna say, I can't remember. It's not a lot though. Project cost $26.30 on average. Customer cost would be $1928.08.
1,900.
$1,900, less than $2,000. And like I said, I could have signed off on it, but I haven't done anything with the senior dining center yet. So I just wanted everybody to be aware that we're going to be spending some funds on it. It's up to you guys to review and approve it, but
Just for clarification, can you, so like the first one hit list Alliant Energy with the proposal and it lists Delancey Electric.
Mhm.
But then the other ones are just from, look like the quote came just from a like electric company. How come that one came in like it did?
I do not know. I require 3 quotes for anything. So I think maybe they were just trying to make the 3 quote quotas if they only got 2 responses back instead of saying I only received 2 responses back in the timeline.
But the Alliant one came to senior dining, but it listed Delancey's information in there on the
That
bid.
he would be the installer provider.
But aren't the other ones the installers too? Or is that just the material for the other ones?
One's material, one's.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's why I was confused. Okay, no, that makes sense.
And if they get better lighting, it does say that they'll have an average cost savings of about $500. So we will get our return on investment back.
I move to approve.
I'll second that.
Motion by Brooke, second by Alan. Further council discussion? Public comment? Brandon, please.
Yonder,
Yes.
Stout,
Yes.
Zumba,
Yes.
Tukin,
Yes.
Crump,
Yes.
Motion to approve carried unanimous. 7.10, review and possible action quarterly payment to Jones County Economic Development in the amount of $3,750.
Move to approve.
Motion by Alan, second by Brooke. Council discussion. Public comment. Brandon?
Crump,
Yes.
Yonder,
Yes.
Stout,
Yes.
Tukin,
Yes.
Zumba,
Yes.
Motion to approve carried unanimously. 7.11, review and possible action, gutters and downspouts at original building portion at fire department.
I put this on the agenda. It's under $1,400. They're having some rusting through the downspouts and gutters in the original part of the building. I could have signed it and returned it. It's not a huge price dollar amount, but I wanted you guys to be aware we are doing something to the original building that does not have anything to do with everything on the other side. This is not a change order or anything else. It's just original that they need to update. So I want to for transparency, you guys to be aware.
So we're doing this totally on our own. This is not going through the
Correct. There's
contractor,
no
architect.
assistance. It just comes out straight
Okay.
budget.
Is this gonna be tied into the drainage then? That
Nothing
is-
with the new building. This is completely just 100% how that, we're not changing
You're not
anything else. Just
tying it in,
literally,
you're
they're
just-
rusting
okay.
out at some of the gutters because they're older. So I'm like, he's like, you can sign this. I'm like, nope, we're gonna have council look at it because I don't want any confusion. It's, if the new building wasn't there, we'd still need this technically. and We're not changing anything else. It's just replacing
Well,
rusty gutters basically.
I noticed that it's a different company, so I figured it had to be separate.
Yeah.
Um, I'll move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Rich, second by Brooke. Further discussion? Public comment. Brandon,
Tukin,
Yes.
Zumba,
Yes.
Stout,
Yes.
Galvin,
Yes.
Crump,
Yes,
motion to approve carried unanimously. 7.12, discussion and possible action, trick or treat in Anamosa. I believe Halloween on the calendar is Monday, October 31st.
Do it the same way we did last year, same times,
Do you know what time?
That was
5 to 8.
5 to 8.
That
5
sounds
to 8.
right. I'm making a motion. Do trick or treat Monday the 31st from 5 to 8.
Second.
Motion by Jeff, second by Teresa. Council discussion. Public comment. Brandon,
Zumba,
yes.
Tukin,
Yes.
Crump,
yes,
Stout,
Yes.
Galvin,
Yes.
motion to approve carried unanimously. 7.13, review and approval of current bills.
move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Rich, second by Alan. Any further discussion on the bills that have been submitted before us?
A couple, just for clarification, or just what they were. Prestige Masonry for 2,291. That was for.
Oh, there was a mailbox that was hit by a snowplow last year.
Hmm.
The normal procedure across the state of Iowa is it's the average price of a mailbox, and if you do anything over and above in the right of way, it is not covered. It's kind of at your own peril. So if you plant fencing, irrigation, mailboxes, whatever. Unfortunately, the previous city administrator that was in my position sent an email saying that we would pay for it because it was destroyed by a snowplow. That individual came in with that proof. She's already approved to pay it, so we will be paying it. I did specifically tell that individual that if it happens again, that it's not, you can't do something fancy in your yard and expect us to foot the bill. So if in the event something happens ever again, anybody in the right of way, it's just whatever a standard average price of a mailbox is at that time. If they choose to do something else at the accord. But yep, so
Okay.
we are paying that out because she told us.
Okay. For Minger mowing, 480. What's that for?
For which one?
Minger mowing for $480.
I think that was that the cemetery mayor?
Would be nuisance.
Oh, a nuisance one, so we'll be putting that against the property.
Was
They
that
ever
a
look at-
single incident?
Or multiple?
No,
Could we ever look at doing that in-house? The nuisance ones?
we can. The issue we run with us doing it is I don't know if we have a full gamut of pricing because we're not going to do it for free. And it's easier to have a third party do it. So they're responsible to get it done. If they give us a bill and then we have something to show the county when we're assessing the home.
makes
But
sense.
yeah, if it was a city property, that's different. But yeah, we're trying to keep it away so we don't have to say, well, maybe we thought it was 3 hours instead of 4 hours. I have an actual.
I kind of like the separation.
The last one I had was,
Okay.
last one I had was USA Blue Book for $3,399. I don't know what that is.
That's for testing, correct? Oh, man.
Testing.
Steve Agnes, Utilities Department, just miscellaneous.
boundaries, what do we need to have, what we might not need to have. Because unfortunately, it's not just about money at the end. Yes, we want the cheapest possible person that'll do a good job. But if we're not seeing something, because we're not engineers all here at the table, then we're getting nickel and dime in the end. And it ends up costing more than what the project cost is, because we can't foresee what engineers can maybe see.
So they would never be allowed to really bid on a project
Correct.
because they're gonna be on the backside
100%.
unless we turned around and hired somebody else to review their work.
Correct.
And things
100%. They would be excluded from
Yeah,
bidding.
things constantly change too with the
Right.
state, and you'd have to have somebody that's following that constantly too, to keep us out of a jam where something
Yes.
has to be changed.
Yeah, right now, we have about 6 engineering firms we're dealing with.
Right.
I'm not saying anybody's being facetious or not, or doing anything ill will, but to have 6 of them, everybody has a different point of view. Everybody has different reasoning behind what they want to do. They see their vision, even though we're explaining our vision, doesn't mean they're getting what we get. If we have somebody that's designated, we can explain it to them and they can put it on paper, what we're looking for, in a better manner than us trying to overview it and maybe look out for some of the pitfalls that we've been encountering. I'm not saying we won't have or have a changeover, but I think we have less. So I can fact gather, look and see if that's what you may be interested in. I just want to put it out there. You don't even have to decide today. I just want to put it out there so you guys are thinking about it.
I think it would be worth an investigation.
Yeah, I do too.
Also,
Another way to tighten the belt a little bit.
Okay, so I need-
Council have any questions? For Sean?
Okay, can you elaborate? I mean, I know we're working with Schneider, we're working with HR Green. I mean, if you pull, like the fire station, Chief Hattery, they're technically architecting engineer. What other ones are out there on
What
project?
Gardner we're using.
Oh, of course, sorry.
There's 4 right there. Where are the other ones?
WHKS.
WHS. Yeah, so we have a lot.
Okay, yeah.
And like I said, it's not that anybody's doing anything wrong or indifferent, but if we had one firm potentially looking out for us, we may not, you know, they would learn our rules and they would learn what our ordinances are and what we're looking for. So we get kind of the same outcome on products that are coming out, so a little more
Oh,
streamlined.
so one person is working with us, they're gonna know us better than 5 of them. That it's gonna be like standing and talking to a crowd of people and not getting all the information.
Well, I think it'll maybe help form some consistency moving forward as all these projects are going, and hopefully we don't have this project over here managed by one and this one by another, and they somehow overlap where we had one person looking out for us. They could say, hey, wait a minute, we need
Get
to work
double
together.
charged for an overlap.
What's that?
Potentially, yeah, because if
It
they're
could
doing, if
happen.
they're doing more than one project.
It actually could
correct,
happen.
Correct.
Yes, it could.
Can you give maybe a status update on the fire department project? Seems to be constantly in delay mode.
Yes, so we had a status update on Friday. Physically there, the engineer was there, the builder was there, fire department people were there. And we walked through the entire site. The floor, I believe they said the next 2 weeks, I think is what they said, is getting poured. Once the floor is poured, they can put the doors on. And then they're finishing up the electrical that's working there, Delaney. They were saying for the control panel for the new building, they were surprised. So we have cement blocks at the fire department that are the main walls. Normally, rebar runs up and down. For some reason, all the cement walls have rebar going north and south, east and west. And they've had a hard time drilling through, and they're double blocked. They didn't even have it in the original drawings that they're double brick. So it's taking them a little longer to figure out where to put the panel because it's a longer drill through of not hitting rebar and double brick. So it's not necessarily a delay, but they are frustrated because nobody knew from the drawings that we had that it was a double wall, double rebar. So they're getting that done, but They are expecting, once the floor goes in and the doors go on, a short amount of time. I think they were saying 30 to 45 days or less, will be completely completed. Downspouts and everything, will be 100% done. So before winter. But yeah, so we'll see floor and doors going in this month still.
Does the sewer issue, does that mean that's taken care of if they're pouring the
Correct, that's
cement?
supposed to arrive, I think they said next week, and then 2 days after they receive it, they'll be installed.
Thanks for that. Anything else? 9.0 mayor and council reports. 9.1 mayor's report. Nothing at this time. 9.2 council reports.
One thing I had was E911 met, and they gave us an update on the state safety funding that the state's doing for any school, public or private, and the vulnerability of all the Anamosa schools is scheduled for January of this year. Then from there, they can proceed with improvements with that funding to improve safety at the school.
Thanks, Jeff. Any other reports? 10.0 public comment for items not on the agenda. 11.0 adjournment. Meeting is adjourned.